Good afternoon, YouTube family. Today is December 9th, 2024. It's your man, Big D, and I'm back with another one. Before I get to this next topic of discussion, I would like to thank all of you good people that have continued to show support and love for my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, there seems to be a lot of talk in these YouTube streets about why men shouldn't date a baby mama, meaning why a guy would not want to date a woman that has a child. Well, here's the thing on that. You know, they have the pros and they have the cons. I can't say that there is a valid point why a man should date a woman that has a child. And I could speak on a plethora of reasons why he probably shouldn't. But here's the thing. To say that a woman can't make a mistake and have a child doesn't mean that that should disqualify her alone. Okay. Does she have a life together? Is she looking for you to be a step baby daddy? Is the child's father present in the child's life? Is the child's father a Dusty, a Pookie, a Ray Ray, a little Dank? So there are a plethora of questions that must be asked in order to determine if you meet a woman and she has a child, if you should go out with her. But then looking at it from another perspective is this. A lot of men, they have the phobia of, dating a woman that has been ran through, then had her bike blowed out, her walls pushed in. Men have a phobia of being known to have married or seriously dating a woman that fits that criteria. And I think more times than not, men think that, okay, well, if a woman has a kid, oh, that means she ran through. That means she done had her cheeks clapped from here, there, all around. But that's not necessarily the case, because you have these women that don't have no kids. Let me tell you, I know personally that those kind of women, those are the ones you better be cautious of. The ones that don't have no kids. Listen, if you thinking that a woman that don't have no kids ain't getting her walls pushed in, or done had her walls pushed in by every Tom, Dick, Harry, Chad, Doug, Pookie, Ray Ray, Nook Nook, Lil Charlie, Junior, John, Dank, Ricky, Paul, Mike. If you don't think that that's the case, then you, good sir, you might be a little delusional. Because here's the thing. All that says is that woman she was careful. She knew she liked to get her cheeks clapped, but she knows she didn't want to have no kids. Or maybe she knew that, well, you know what? The type of lifestyle I'm living, I don't want to bring a child into that bullshit. And I agree with her and I applaud her for that. Don't mean you still ain't no 304, but it just means that you were not selfish enough to bring another innocent being into some BS. So I applaud you on that. Good job, man. But yeah, fellas, you got to understand, just because a woman don't have no kids, though, don't mean she ain't ran through. In fact, I would tell you this. Be cautious of the woman that has a kid, and be cautious of the woman that don't have any kids. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't take no wooden nickels, because there is no way to gauge what a woman done been doing before she came along and you met her. I believe that since the beginning of time, you know what I'm saying, this thought behavior, it's been around since the beginning of time. So to say that, oh well, it's even worse now in 2024. Listen, I would venture to say that it probably is a little bit worse in 2024 because of the influence and influx of technology like the internet. But to say that whorish behavior wasn't around 30, 40 years ago, no, it was there. It just wasn't publicized like it is today. See, today it's okay to be a thought. Today it's okay to be a hoe. It's okay to be ran through in today's time. But back in the good old days, you had the women that were ran through, but it was kind of on a it wasn't as publicized like it is now. Now in today's time, being a 304 is applauded and celebrated. That's just the way it is. So I want to say this, fellas. Have I dated women that have had children? Oh, absolutely. And listen, as long as the woman wasn't looking for me to be a stepfather, a step baby daddy, anything like that, I had no problem with it. As long as the child is manable, long as the baby daddy, was not a dusty, or he wasn't causing no problems. As long as it didn't disturb my peace, I'm okay with it. As long as she professional, she got her life together, I'm okay with it. Because I find that there are some baby mamas who got their lives better put together than women that don't have no kids. So, sometimes you have to take life with a grain of salt. But now here's another plot that you have to think about too, as far as the women that have children. I believe that when a woman has a child with a man, he gonna always be able to clap them cheeks if he want to, if he press hard enough. That's just my opinion, my belief. So that's something you may potentially have to worry about dating a woman that has a child. You know what I'm saying? Especially if the guy, was kind of squared away. He ain't a dusty. He might always be able to have access to that box. And I believe he probably would. So you have to take all those things in consideration. But I think that there's a big talking point about why you shouldn't date a woman that has a child and she should just be for recreational use only. There's a huge talking point around that. And I want to believe that it's all based on the phobia that men don't even want to think about, that they girl done been touched on, ran through. And what you really don't want, you don't want to be the guy thinking that you got a catch and thinking you got yourself a good woman, when in really all you got is some BS. All you got is a chick who was crafty enough to kind of keep her reputation at bay. But they can only do that for so long, because sooner or later you're gonna start running into people who done tap that and this and that. So I think the main thing is this: men just don't wanna know that their girl done been ran through. And to each man, there's a different definition of ran through. Some men might say, depending on the woman's age, and if she got only 10 bodies, that's that's okay. That's reasonable. Some men might say, man, if you got more than 5 bodies, it's too much. So I tend to think that the body count is all dependent upon the man as an individual. But whatever you as a man, and in your mind you think that this number is too much for you, well then that's something that you have to come up with. But nevertheless, family, it's not, don't discount a woman because she has a kid. Take everything into account. Look at her whole situation in a totality, and then you go from there. And And never, ever, ever use the fact that a woman, because she don't have no kids, that don't mean she ain't ran through and she ain't been touched on, because I'm here to tell you right now, that just means she been careful, because she knows she ain't want to have no, she ain't want to be tied down with no babies. So, and again, I applaud a woman like that, because I'd much rather see you on, whatever contraceptive that you got to use, and instead of you going and trying to put a trap baby on somebody, or putting a baby on somebody who you and I both know you and him ain't ready to be in that type of situation. So the women that take responsibility, man, I applaud you for that. However, just because you can't have no babies don't mean that you ought to be getting your insides torn out. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.